Noisy resort neighbor gets his secret spilled. Happened a few days ago. Throwaway for obvious reasons. My wife and I decided to go to Southern California for the holidays. We found ourselves a nice resort and checked in. All was well until we noticed that the walls in our room were very thin. As we entered our room, we could hear our next door neighbor talking and having an argument with his girlfriend. We shared one common wall with them. They were shouting pretty loud and we could hear everything through the wall. We'll refer to this guy as Noisy Neighbor, NN. NN kept fighting with his girlfriend about something she said earlier. We didn't follow, wasn't interested, and decided to go eat and explore around the town we were in. We came back around 10 at night and all was quiet. We figured that NN and his girlfriend already went to bed, so we went to bed as well. Turns out he was out. NN and his girlfriend come back at 12 laughing and really loud. Loud to the point that we could hear them and hear their entire conversation. Looks like they made up after the fighting that morning. We hear the girlfriend say that she is hungry and NN calls for pizza delivery. It was there that we heard NN's name, phone number, and credit card info, not that we would do anything with it. They kept chatting and laughing and we could hear every bit of their conversation through the thin walls. Wife and I try earplugs, radio, and everything we could think of to drown out the noise. We were hoping that they would eventually turn in for the night and there would be some peace and quiet. Yet NN was full of energy and boyish laughter. Finally at 2 a.m. we decided to call the concierge and let the resort security deal with it. The resort we stayed at was meant for mindfulness and mediation, so it did enforce some quiet hours. Security called them up and told them that they were too loud and to keep their voices down. This did the trick for some time and we fell asleep. Only to be woken up again at around 5 a.m. to some really loud sex. Like moaning and screaming from the girlfriend. After they were done with their business, they washed up and just kept talking. Laying there in bed I heard all about NN's job, where he was from, where he grew up, his political views, and so on. Finally at 6 or so we called up the front desk again. This time security actually came and knocked on their door to tell them to keep their voices down as it was still officially quiet hours. NN and his girlfriend were furious that they could be disturbed when they were just having fun and having a good time. They claimed that they rent loud at all, and why can't they just have some fun? They threatened to leave poor reviews for the resort and made sure that all of their friends would hear about this. Security took that all in, gave them their warning, and left. After security left, NN and his GF started talking shit about wife and me through the wall, knowing that we could hear it. Stuff like, our neighbors are such assholes, probably racial slur. What's wrong with having sex with my GF, huh? Too loud for you pussies? And just deliberately talked to his GF in a really loud voice, talking about how great the sex was and how she was going to scream and moan louder next time. I was frustrated at this time, with very little sleep. I took out my cell phone and recorded everything that we were hearing, hoping to show the front desk just how little soundproof the room was and hopefully ask for a room change. But then something happened. At 7 or so, we heard NN's phone ring and suddenly NN and GF were really silent. Then I hear NN say, "Hi NN's wife, how are you, sweetie? I just woke up here at the conference. Long day ahead. I miss you so much." It turns out NN was cheating on his wife with his mistress over Christmas. At this point my wife and I hatched a plan. With all the information that we had on NN, his wife's name, and where they lived, we started combing Facebook and yellowpages.com for more information. Lo and behold, we found what NN looked like, old man in his 50s, and his wife. All the information matched up with what he had been talking about all night and plus his zip code when he ordered pizza. A bit more digging, and we found where NN's wife worked and her email address. A simple Outlook.com email address. Later I compressed the recording I had and sent it to NN's wife. The best part is that the recording contained NN's wife's phone call to NN, so she had no doubt it was definitely NN. Exhausted with little sleep, my wife and I decided to just get up and go get some breakfast around town. We come back a few hours later and stop by the concierge's desk. We wanted to thank them and their security for trying to help us get some sleep and to ask for another room. Turns out we didn't need a room switch. They checked out this morning, a few days earlier than scheduled. The concierge told us. She mentioned something about an urgent family concern that NN had to attend to. Looks like our plan had worked much better than we had hoped for. The rest of our stay at the resort was quiet and uneventful. No one else checked into that room. I did show the front desk parts of my recording just so they know that they need to work on soundproofing their rooms in the future. TL, Noisy resort guest is loud throughout the night, end up with his secret going back to his family.